Hey YouTube, welcome to a beautiful autumn morning in the Waikato in New Zealand. Hey, I've been thinking about the jets and my inability to run more than 2 jets with my lack of water. So what I've done is, through previous measuring, I've decided that number 2 jet provides the least amount of work. What I'm going to do is an experiment today is going to remove no jet. They should all be 17.5 millimeters, and I will replace it with a smaller one, being 10 millimeter diameter. The idea there is basically to provide 2.5 jets, the third jet being basically a half effectiveness or half the work, and thereby half the water consumption. So 2.5 jets worth of power to try and increase my wattage from 205 watts. So here we go. I normally keep some spare parts. There's the jet I'll be using. Brass inserted this one, and my tools normally hang up here in the turbine shed. Just a first check, I'll put my fingers up under there, make sure the coils are still at about body temperature, which they are, and the running pressure is, or inline running pressure is 27.5 psi. So I'll pull this, turn the camera off because I'm doing it all by hand here, so I'll turn the turbine off and slowly, so we don't get any hammering. And then I'll pull the lid off this turbine and show you how I go about replacing this. I'll just put this up here for now so I don't lose it in the mud or dirt. Okay. So basically all I do is give it a wiggle and a jiggle and a lift, and normally it just lifts up and cooperates with me really well. And then I tilt it back on its side. I'm not sure how much of this you can see. It's still morning here and the bright light is affecting the camera. If you can see up under there, you'll see my Pelton wheel and the 4 jets. 1, 2, 3, if we can see that, and 4 that are currently in there. I'm going to replace number 2, which is this one here. As you can see, it's also got an insert. There's my finger. There's my finger. So it's just a matter of maybe using some poly grips to loosen this and then hand wind it out, and then wind the other one in. Alright, let's see if I can do this left-handed. I'm holding the camera with the right hand. Why, I don't know, but I am. Let's see if I can crack this initially with the poly grips, which are not the correct tool for the job. I do have a correct tool somewhere. I might have to stop and use both hands. Alright, I cracked it with the poly grips. Lift it up a little bit more, let the sunlight in there so you can see what's going on if possible. And there it is there. I've cracked it with the poly grips, and the way I've designed this, you should be able to replace the nozzle without doing anything else. So turn it slightly and just sort of manipulate the Pelton wheel so that it doesn't touch the nozzle as the nozzle comes out, or the jet, whatever you want to call it. There it is there. Boy oh boy, that is not as I remember it. Here's a new one. I might have to look in my book actually, because I was adamant that they were 17.5 millimeter jets. That one I've just removed is definitely not 17.5. Yeah, I just put this into here. Actually, come to think of it, I did an awful lot of and trialing of different jet sizes about a year ago, and I may have changed them from the 17.5 that they originally were to something smaller. I some reason, something in my mind tells me 12. However, I will fit this, and I will go up to the shed, and I will consult my paperwork and see if I can find the latest jet adjustment specs. So there we have it. Just a nozzle change as quickly as that. Nip it up a little bit so it doesn't vibrate loose. That's it. Hang that back up. Put this up on the nail. Where is it? There it is. Just so I know where to keep it. And lift this back into place. So you can see the water comes down here, there, turns a 90 degree. I know it's quite inefficient, but I've tried to overcome the inefficiency of the 90 degree turn by a larger diameter pipe than would normally be suitable for the 4 jets in the length and the internal resistance of the pipe. I tried to oversize everything mechanically and kind of undersize everything electrically, barring the inverter, which I'm having a few issues with, but that's another story. So anyway, I'll pause this so that I can manhandle it with manhandle the turbine with 2 hands and put it back into place. I haven't paused it. Haven't paused it yet. Unable to press the... Okay, sorry about that. I was unable to pause it because of my grubby wet fingers. But you can see I've just slipped it back into place. This is made up from 3 waste drums I had. The bottom of one, the center bit of a different one, and the top of that same one there. The reason I did it like this is I've permanently secured the middle to the bottom so that I could have this overlap here to enable me to remove the top and do what I've just done without clipping, screwing, bolting or doing anything. Alright, now we'll start it up and see if we can see any difference in that number 2. I will pause it again because I'm running short on memory. Alright, I'm ready to start up. I'll start up number 1 and we'll give you an idea of what the pressure... We're supposed to be all the same size jets, so we'll give you an idea of what the pressure should do with just number 1 jet flowing, and in theory with number 2 flowing on its own, the line pressure should be higher because the jet should be smaller. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to pan out correctly because of my incorrect memory of the jet sizes. So let's have a look. We got, I'm not sure if you can see that correctly, 29.5 type PSI. The important thing is it's on right up into here on the black marking tape. If I turn number 1 jet on, nice and slow, you'll hear the turbine spin up. You'll hear it spin up quite fast and then it will slow down like it just did then. That was the MPPT charge controller finding maximum power point. It will fluctuate a little bit, both the pressure and the speed, for a few minutes. And if you have a look there, I'm not sure if you can see that, that is pretty much bang on 29 PSI. Turning it off again, nice and slow. Now we'll turn number 2 on. In theory it should be higher than 29 PSI. Again, it's spinning fast. Just slowed down there and it just created a bit of a hammer in the water system. Now we'll watch and we should be able to see, okay, marginal difference, 29.5 PSI line pressure. So it is smaller, and I can hear that it's spinning slower, but not really the difference I was looking for. Regardless of that, I will look for my paperwork. I'll get back to you, and I think I'll find that 17.5 was something that I had a long time ago, and I think I'll find that I've since replaced, so I need to update my personal memory banks. Okay, that's the end of it for today.